very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheikh. Thank you very much for logging in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this evening. Well, first up, furniture rental firm Furlenco has raised about 1,000 crore rupees in a mix of debt as well as equity as part of its latest funding round led by Xenia Global Fund. Now, existing investors, which include CE Ventures as well as Lightbox Ventures, have also participated in this round. Now, the business is looking at scaling its annual revenue to 2,200 crore rupees in the next 5 years, generating a 650 crore rupee free cash annually by FY 2026. Moving on to the second headline of the day, InfoEdge has reconsidered its offer to sell shares worth 750 crore rupees in upcoming IPO of food delivery app Zomato. Now, the Sanjeev Bikhchandani-led Indian internet company will now be selling only 50% to 375 crore rupees of its initial offer as offer for sale in Zomato's IPO. Well, logistics and supply chain management integrator Locad announced a $4.9 million funding in a seed round led by Sequoia Capital India's Surge. Locad offers e-commerce brands and retailers scalable and end-to-end solutions ranging from the plug-and-play e-commerce fulfillment to a distributed warehousing network in APAC for companies that are looking to scale their business in international markets. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, drone platform startup Skylark Drones has raised about $3 million in a pre-Series A funding led by InfoEdge Ventures as well as IAN Fund. Now, Skylark Drones will be using this latest round of funding to enhance its product offering as well as expand further into the overseas market. Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me someone who's in the logistics space with Spica Technologies. I have with me Rithiman Majumdar. Thank you very much, Rithiman, for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. I want to begin by asking you about the last couple of months. The logistics space seems to have clearly taken off amid this pandemic. So what's been your experience over the last couple of months?
So the last couple of months has been like quite mixed and like quite exciting also, right? Like initially when the lockdown happened, right? The second wave happened, right? So the initially it was quite shocking when the lockdown happened, right? This time around, it was not quite that bad when the first lockdown happened. The brands were quite prepared this time, right? They were much more prepared in terms of their expenditure and everything, and we were more so that prepared in terms of logistics and how to reroute our logistics routing for the brands and everything. And we, for a matter of fact, since we are a tech player for the logistics, for the e-commerce brands and D2C brands, right? So we were much more prepared. So where to reroute the logistics and the 3PL providers for the D2C players, right? So we were much more prepared for the first few months, for the first months, right? So then when it picked up, right, in the next couple of days, when it started to pick up and the brand started to spend more, right? So we started to predict it more, right? We being a SaaS player, right? So we started to predict, for example, now we started to predict that Northeast is blocked, for example, right? We started to predict when the cyclone happened in the West Zone in Mumbai, right? So we can easily predict these kind of events, unlike the 3PL providers, for example, Blue Darts of the world, deliveries of the world, right? So we work with them and we actually predict these for the brands like Oziva, for example, in kind of the big brands, and even for the smaller brands who sell on Instagram, right? So we work with them and we work for both sides of the players, right? And we help them how to reroute their logistics and efficiently deliver the products in each and every parts of India. And if it's not deliverable, and we actually tell them, our platform tells them that it's not deliverable, and we improve their customer experience, right? So that's how the journey has been. And now it actually has improved a lot. Initially, it was not that good, but now it has improved a lot. But in comparison to the last year, it's much more better. Customers are much more like, I would say, like, customers in terms of the sellers are much more well prepared, and the logistics infrastructure is much more well prepared to deal with the lockdown. And in if you say to like, even if the third wave comes, we are much more well prepared.
If you could run us through how many customers you have at this point in time, and in terms of deliveries, which are the products that are seeing maximum traction on the platform as of now?
Yeah, in terms of the sellers, we have on a platform, we have close to around 75,000 sellers on a platform, and those include both like small sellers to big brands, right? Big brands like brands like Imami and Oziva, and in fact sellers as old as like 2 days old, right? Who sell on Instagram and Facebook, right? Those sellers. And in terms of mix of customers, there are no such big like fixed set of customers. They keep on changing in terms of the orders, right? Because every big wave come and that mix changes, right? Before the first wave, it was the electronic segment, that was electronics and mobile, that the end customers were keep on ordering from online, right? But then when the first wave hit, um, all of a sudden the beauty segment was a big hit, right? Beauty and health category was a big hit, right? And the electronic segment took a backseat, right? And then after the second wave hit, right, all of a sudden customers started ordering from the Kirana stores, right? So now all of a sudden we are seeing all these new chunks of e-commerce players, although they have not taken the big hit in the market, but they have started emerging, right? Like the Bikais of the world, right? The Dukans of the world, right? The Khata books of the world, right? The Insta Mojos of the world. They have started emerging in the world, right? And now we are making custom apps for them, right? Because customers have started ordering from the Kirana stores. So they are now the new wave of e-commerce player, right? Because customers have started
Right.
ordering from the nearby stores, right? So that's the new wave in the second wave. And we don't know what will happen in the third wave. So
Right.
we are
What kind of
preparing for
growth
that.
in terms of percentage have you been seeing in the last 2 to 3 months?
Hmm.
And going forward, what's the kind of growth percentage that you expect in FY22?
So in the last 2 months, I would say, in the last few 3 4 months, we have seen around 2x growth in terms of the order volume. But in terms of the stabilized growth that we are expecting in terms of the whole FI 2022, we are expecting close to around 3.5x to 4x in terms of the revenue growth, right? And we are expecting around 400 to 450 CR by this financial year.
Right, 400 to 450 crore rupees by the end of financial year. That is your revenue target that you're working with. But as far as investments are concerned, I believe that you raised
Yeah.
some amount of funding in December
Yes.
2020. So, what
Yes.
is the plan forward? Are you looking at more funds? And what will these funds be utilized for?
So the current fundings that we have raised, right, in the last year, that we have utilized for like expanding into the warehousing segment, right, the fulfillment segment, right? So that I will not categorize it as like the idle warehousing, right? That I will categorize it as more into like fulfilled by picker, right? Which is more for the brands which sell from their own website, right? They can easily send to each and every parts of India in 1 to 2 days, right? So we have like open our warehouses in each and every part of India. Like currently we have like 4 to 5 warehouses. By the end of this year, we'll open more and more warehouses, right? Currently we have our delivery network, which is through tech, right? Which is very seamless, right? So what brands can easily do, the traditional way of doing supply chain is, so brands have to like partner with the delivery partners, right? So they have to call a delivery partner, maybe it's very manual, right? So with us, it's as easy as that, right? Just tie up with us, or they just log in to our platform and they can place 100 orders a day, 1,000 orders a day. Automatically, they get delivered to all over India, right? It's as simple as that. Now, with our fulfillment network, they will just place those 100 orders, and automatically those 100 orders will be distributed to our warehousing centers. and their end customer can select whether it's 1 day delivery or 2 day delivery, is as similar experience as Amazon Prime, right? You order from Amazon Prime, right? You get that 1 day delivery, 2 day delivery experience. Now brands can give that same experience from their own website also, right? So that's what we are aiming at. So that's what the funds are being deployed for, right? And we're also working towards a capital working capital requirement also, and we're also working towards few other requirements. For example, we have as I discussed, right, we're working towards custom apps for kirana stores, right? So those are few things that we're working at. We have also launched our apps in 10 plus different languages, which nobody is working at, right? Because different people needs our app, right, in different parts of India, right? So that's a different requirement. And obviously the about the next round of funding will come to your story for in the next few months, right? So that's a different part of the story.
So we'll wait and watch out for that. Ritiman, thank you very much for your time and thank you so much for joining us on the Daily Dispatch.
Thank you.
Time now to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll catch you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and stay safe.